Good morning, everyone. Welcome back to Labyrinth Butterfly. I'm going to be doing a reading for the new moon in Aquarius today, February 4th, 2019. If you follow me on Instagram, you'll notice that I have been doing Divine Masculine, Divine Feminine, Divine Union cards for and around the new moon and the full moon. It's just been what I can keep up with, along with the other work that I do in my life. But today I was called to do a recorded message, going out to twin flames, twin souls, divine masculine, divine masculine, divine feminine energies that are here working towards their divine union missions. So without going into too much detail, I'm going to start with a Rumi oracle card. I wasn't going to use Rumi today, but at the last minute they called in. I'm going to be asking for a divine message for all twin flames on their journeys this time. So this will be an overall message, please, from the divine. What we need to know now, what we need to be focused on now, what is important for us to remember on this journey. We all are on very unique paths, and yet we are all very connected in our union energies, star constellations. And we get the hand of Fatima. This is a number 43 card, which is a 7, which is a number of spirituality. You may see here what appears to be a young girl standing in a field of flowers, and those flowers are swirling up into a wave of energy where we see more of a goddess kind of floating, almost doing like a side stroke through the sky. And the little girl's hand is going up towards a large hand in the sky, the goddess's hand in the sky. So to me right away, I'm seeing connection with higher self, our inner child's connecting with our higher self, our source self. Give me a moment, I'm just flipping to, I'm going to read the poem for Hand of Fatima. And it reads, I can never leave you, not for a moment, not for an hour. You are in everything I do. You are my everything. My drink is your sweetness. I move to your command. I am surrendered, prey in your hands. And you are my consuming lion. Your soul and my soul are truly one soul. I swear to our one soul, I long for no one but you. In the garden of your grace, I am only a germinating sprout. The crown of my blooming is the desire to be in your arms. Rumi. My hand, this is a message of the card. That is incredibly beautiful, by the way. My hand watches over you. It brings you blessings and comfort, protection and grace. Radiant with divinity am I, and you are my child. child, my beloved, my angel, and my body too. I shall never leave you. Turn your inner eyes to me and see the light of my grace in your heart. You cannot be harmed. You cannot be defiled. You can only ever be what you are, me, alive, radiant with love. Truly, so this is really speaking to the twins, masculine and divine, feminine, of our connection to our source contract with higher spirit, with the God that is within us, that created this life, that created this beautiful connection with our missions, with our twins, with our higher selves, with our inner child selves. And I think this is a clear affirmation and validation that we know who we are who we are, and that will never leave us. That love will never leave us. So, in terms of twin connection, that is a mirror that we share back and forth between each other. This hand being held to the sky, and I have spoke about this before, that it's truly not about, it is and it isn't about looking outside of yourself to another, because once you've met your other, the memory or the resonance with that other never goes away. But truly the work is to hold the hand and the heart up to the Most High, within ourselves and within our spirits and souls. So bringing it always back to doing that inner child work and to remembering what our mission is, and that mission is divine union with Source God, with Source energy, that we may then be able to find our true inner balance between our divine masculine and our divine feminine selves within. And the way I understand the mirror image of the twin flame is that we are seeing ourselves outside of ourselves in another. That is our perfect image, our perfect mirror, our perfect reflection, which is helping to guide us on our path to divine union. So that's a really beautiful card. And let's move on from that point. Okay, we'll move on to the Mystical Tarot. This is a deck that I often use for divine masculine readings. I'm going to just try and really tune in to the collective masculine energy. I know that there are a lot of Sun Star brothers who have birthdays right now, and also the sign of Aquarius. So we're in this new moon in Aquarius, the water bearer. I feel like the masculine energy really holds a lot more action in the 3D sense, in the 3D world. So I like to kind of tune in to where the divine masculine energy is in the higher planes, as well as in the physical channels. Because I do feel like oftentimes we see their energy being a bit different. Okay, so asking for this new moon, where our brothers are divine masculine are in the higher. Okay, so underneath, I have three cards that fell out actually, and the bottom line energy, the underlying energy here is the Two of Wands. So overall, the masculine energy is really looking at the bigger picture, really looking towards how they are to walk and maneuver and build and create in the world. And also remembering that the wands are fire and passion and, you know, their heart centered activity. So also the Two of Wands carries this really unique energy because we have like one wand that's grounded and basically bolted into the ground behind him, and one that he's holding in his left hand. So with the world, the image of the world in his other. So he's really looking to continue moving forward from what he's already created, with this vision and this mission. So this really speaks to mission. So with the two cards that fell out together were both reversed. And one we have reversed is the King of Wands, followed by the Queen of Swords. And then we have the Eight of Cups. So if we want to look at this as kind of a bit of a timeline or what's going on here, we can go two ways with this, and I will clarify these cards. But either the divine masculine is feeling that he is currently not being able to sit on his throne as his King of Wands in his total divine birthright and passion, knowing who he is, really being fully in his fire. And this king is very stoic. He really is holding his wand, sitting on his throne. There's a volcano in the distance erupting with a dragon coming out of the smoke, and the dragon is blowing fire out of its mouth into and behind this king. So he's not feeling that he's sitting in his full potential at this time. Followed by the Queen of Swords in her reversed image. The direct ability to communicate and to do that clearly and consciously and in a way that is freeing is being blocked. So I perceive this as the full potential is being blocked because there's a blocking communication, like as if the divine masculine is having a really hard time expressing himself, who he truly is and where he needs to be on his path. So then we come out with the Eight of Cups. And the Eight of Cups, excuse me for a second, okay, sorry about that. So the Eight of Cups is a card truly of walking away from a lot of pretty much like everything that you've created and you've built and you've learned thus far. You're choosing to walk solo. And this card is often depicted with the full moon, which is very interesting because right now we're in the new moon. So again, maybe this is looking forward to a little bit of a premonition card for where this new moon cycle is going to be taking the divine masculine energy, really choosing to walk forward with everything that has been gained, with all that has come so far on this journey, but knowing that the mission is to continue on alone. And of course, knowing that we are never truly alone, but following the heart. This card speaks of following the heart. There is no way to look at the Eight of Cups other than you are following your destiny. You are following your fate. You are following the path that you know is the one that you must take, regardless of how much bounty and beauty and treasures and, things that you have acquired in these other cups. You're not fulfilled there at this point. You haven't reached the Nine of Cups yet. And furthermore, your mission and your goal is the Ten of Cups. Is that fully desired place. And I do believe that for many divine masculines, that is the King of Wands. That is sitting on your throne of passion. That is sitting in your fire and, really being able to communicate. So I'm going to use the Enchanted Tarot to clarify these cards. This is where the divine masculine is in the higher. I'm going to ask to please show us how these higher energies are coming down into the physical, how these are being presented in the physical. What does this look like, the divine masculine? What are we seeing in his world? Please clarify this King energy, this King of Wands in the reverse. We get the Four of Swords. So the Four of Swords in this deck is a Buddha who is in meditation, but he also has his eyes open slightly. So I feel like that's awareness, but we will look further into that. Wow. Beautiful. Okay. Wow. Interesting. Okay. So the Two of Swords is the underlying energy of this clarification. So again, there's the union right there. We have 11-11 with the Two of Wands and the Two of Swords. In this deck, the Two of Swords is basically a divine feminine goddess, and she's standing between two large swords that are reaching up into the heavens, basically. And there's a moon above her. She's holding a peacock feather. This is definitely talking about the divine feminine kind of being on the mind and sort of leading this shift that the masculines are experiencing and going through. So we have the Four of Swords. We're going to go into this first and foremost, basically clarifying the Wands card. Let's find this. So we're showing the Four of Swords. So in this deck, the Four of Swords is the seclusion card. So the masculines are being asked to deal with their situations properly by taking some time alone, retreating, dealing with the pain, the inner conflict, the distractions, trying to rid themselves of stress and anxiety, and really getting grounded to recharge their energy. Also being called to meditate daily and look inward. So when they look inward, they're really able to see and feel and sense their higher selves and who they are meant to be in the physical world. So in order to really tap in and tune into that higher knowing, they're going to need to be focusing within and taking time to themselves. And also I'm really getting that they need to start practicing detachment. Detachment from having to play certain roles that may no longer be serving them fully. So really, really looking into that knowingly and with an open heart and mind. So clarifying the Queen of Swords in reverse, we have the Strength card. So again, we see the image of the goddess with the lion, and this card is an 8 card. So we have infinity in this read, and this is a major arcana. So this is always speaking to courage and the bravery of our hearts. So really, in order to break through this inability, this stuckness of not being able to communicate and to speak their truth, they need to find courage and strength, and they need to develop it. So this may seem like an impossible task to most of the masculine, and I do believe that they see that the feminine energy is so much stronger than them, and they feel that they can't live up to that place of strength within them. So a lot of them have not been able to do this, but this is what's being called down into the physical to really balance themselves, because they know who they are. The awareness is there, and the strength really needs to come. And that seems very honest and true. And then clarifying the 8 of Cups, we have the Sun card. So hello, that is the Divine Masculine's card. The 19 card, the major arcana of the Sun. So in this deck, there are 2 birds. I will call them love birds because, they are in love. They're sitting underneath the sun. They're looking up at the sun. They're recognizing the radiance of the sun and the love and the light and the nourishment that the sun brings to us. And the message of this card is that you need to share your highest qualities and achievements and radiate out into the world who you are and what you are doing. So shining your love on those you care about, shining your strong paternal figure out into the world, supporting your own efforts and growth, And this is truly what the Divine Masculine is being called to do at this time, by walking his path, by walking away from things, people, situations, even like spiritual truth and knowledge that has been gained. It's like those cups aren't everything anymore. We take with us what we need to carry in our hearts, but we always have to keep looking forward. We always have to keep moving forward. And that's what the Divine Masculine is being asked to do in the 3D, in the physical plane world. And again, to go back to that Two of Swords energy, needing to balance, really needing to balance, and to break away from your usual way of thinking and seeing and doing, to consider alternative ideas and viewpoints. So going into those spaces of meditation, finding the strength to communicate honestly, openly, willingly, from a knowing of your divine self, because the major arcana cards, that's the spiritual self, that's the spiritual path speaking, in order to move forward and to really take your place as the sun. So, seeing the full moon reflected from the Eight of Cups with the Sun card, I feel like maybe this is the cycle that we're going to be going through, starting here with the new moon and moving forward. So I'm going to ask the Sacred Traveler cards for some insight to the Divine Masculine's movement. Because we all are on a journey, we all are traveling souls, especially twin flame, twin souls, twin stars. Again, these are all labels, whatever you choose to label your understanding of your inner journey and your outer journey and the reflections that are coming to you from Source and Spirit. It is very difficult to label what exactly this type of journey is. It's very spiritual, it's very sacred, and it's very personal. My experience has just been that when I do open up when I'm guided to, I'm oftentimes speaking directly to another true twin who is here on mission and who's awakened. So this is an awakening journey, and it's not necessarily for everybody. I have a lot of strong beliefs about, I would say I have a lot of strong understandings at this point about what this journey is, and I have plans to talk more deeply about that. But for today, let's stick with the reading here, and I will tune you in and let you know when it comes time for me to be sharing other offerings. So back to the Sacred Journey, your cards. I'd like to ask, what is blocking the masculine? And what he may need. He needs to stay in the flow. He needs to know that everything is smoothly sailing along. Get the Fogged In card. Go slow and take your time. Reaching your destiny, Your light is shining brightly. Journey by moonlight. Believe in magic and choosing your path. All is possible. So I want to start with choosing your path, even though that's the last one that fell out, because this card shows a knight standing on the edge of a cliff overlooking a mountain and a valley and a river, and he is looking at 100-mile views. He's looking far out into the world here that he's standing on, and there is like almost a huge explosion of flames behind him and around him, silhouetting him in the distance. So this is really speaking to the energy of the King of Wands in reverse. He has to choose. The divine masculine energy has to choose. A lot of things for the masculine comes his way because of the magnetism of his energy and his beauty, his light. That a lot comes his way, but oftentimes the masculine has a hard time choosing and also believing. I believe that his journey is as it is, so divinely orchestrated. So these are kind of, I asked for, blockages, like blockages that need some attention. So as the divine is going into these meditations, focusing on being in the flow and knowing that everything is happening for a reason, and being comfortable with taking your time, because, the fogged in, you are on a journey, you are on a boat, you are sailing your ship, but allow the fog to roll in around you. Allow there to be time to pause and to have, some insight from your inner world, because that's where the destination lies. Make sure that you're tuning in at night. Make sure that you're remembering to, follow the magical and believe in what you're being shown in dreams, in synchronicities, in your daydreams, things that you're envisioning, in transformation. The Reaching Your Destiny card has a blue butterfly in it. So being able to see in the distance and visualize and hold that vision is going to be important for the masculine to get through the blocks of this time, of this new moon time. And the new moon is the perfect time to set up intentions and new practices and, cut your hair or, give it back to the earth. Let go of things that you no longer need to carry in the energy of your physical form and your physical body. Do some kind of cleansing, purification, even if it's just taking a salt bath or just starting yourself off in a good place. I'm going to ask the indigo angels for a gifted message for the masculines, what they need to focus on for themselves. and how they can really attain their goals and dreams this time. So the bottom of the deck is allowing love. Allowing for love to come in. Allowing for there to be a flow of energy that's accepting. We get show appreciation. So show appreciation for the messages. Show appreciation for what the divine is actually sending you on your journey. A lot of us push away, and I'm speaking to feminines as well. A lot of us push away messages, synchronicities, visions, insights, intuition that's coming through from the divine. We push it away. We push away that power that is being given to us from our guides and angels and, gurus and saints and, everybody that we can't necessarily see and touch, but we can feel and sense and commune with and listen to. So we need to start showing appreciation for what comes through. And then we learn something new. So remembering that we have to be in a stance of life being about change. And our knowledge always having room to grow. And what we are learning about can help us to move forward and can help us to expand and grow overall on our missions and in our lives. So not being afraid, dipping your toes in new waters, which is what we see this angel doing. She's dipping her toes in something new. She's feeling it out, She's not diving in. She's not submerging herself fully, but she's definitely taking a step forward. And then we get the Explore card, which is a really one that I love so much because there's an angel that's dressed in an orange robes and he looks like a monk, and he's walking over a bridge, over water. He is taking the time to explore and to just keep walking forward, in his mission, in his journey, in his spiritual exploration. Very similar to the Eight of Cups energy, where he's walking away, his back is to us. He's definitely continuing on his path. And that may mean crossing over some bridges and leaving some things behind. We get the Friendship card. So sticking close to friends, true friends, friends that you can put your heads together with, friends that you can hold, friends that you can embrace, friends that understand your journey, who can, help you lift the veil of this Queen of Swords in reversed, of that inability to communicate your higher self, to friends that help you build courage, the Strength card, again, friends who help you to really be in your power, to be in your sun energy. That's important. And we get shielding. So, protecting your inner knowing at this time. moving slowly, but protecting yourself, not necessarily, how do I want to say? I'm going to ask for a clarification card on that from the Mystical Tarot, because I want to know what the masculines need to shield themselves against. It seems like a very specific message, so I'm going to ask for that. So, hold on a second. Getting a lot of cards come out. So, the card that just fell out, oh, I'm not sure that that's the right card. So, sometimes I'm not going to go with things that just fly out randomly, that come out in chunks. But what I am going to say is the card that fell out onto my lap was the Page of Swords. So I think the shielding is coming from, not being too quick to speak out, thinking before you speak, remembering that when you're first learning something new, to be in a stance that you're a student, and you have to kind of move cautiously, speak to those who are able to receive and who know. Don't think that you know more than you know, I guess, is the message that I'm getting. You're still lacking complete understanding and experience overall, in some way. So shield yourself, and even if you do have, let's go this way with it too, like even if you do have a deeper understanding of this journey and this path, and maybe you have met your twin and you know them in a physical, spiritual, emotional way, shielding against other people who don't understand that path, letting yourself have the time to really figure this out on your own. So that you can come to a place of being able to express it, but expressing it to others who understand it. So I think that's the clarification. That's a good clarification, is that shield yourself, be cautious, be careful, be aware of who you're expressing these inner understandings to as you choose your path, because you know who your true friends are. You know who your true friends are. You know who you can actually trust and talk to, and that may be changing overall, because again, with the Eight of Cups, as we walk away from things, sometimes that also indicates that we're walking away from people, relationships, things that are no longer vibrating at the same frequency that we need to be vibrating at in order to, come into our full power. And Divine Masculines, you have the Sun card in your spread. You have the Strength card in your spread. This is a very powerful new moon for you, and I look forward to seeing how this culminates and cultivates, and what the Divine Masculine does with this energy, and remembering also the Hand of Fatima. So looking to the higher self always, first and foremost, understanding that is your divine union, that everything that is being sent to you from Source, whatever you may call that in your world, show appreciation for it. Trust that you can explore now, you can learn new things. Your meditation will help you on this path, and journey by moonlight. Choose your way, choose your path. It is time for the masculine to make a clear choice and to know that he is making the right choice if he is choosing himself and he is choosing his higher path, and therein we will find growth, and all will be in alignment. So I feel like I'm going to end there. This was a beautiful reading. Thank you for listening. Thank you for honoring this space that I share from my higher self and from my source teachers and guides and team of light that works with me and walks with me. I give thanks for all of these messages coming through the cards, and I pray that this is well received and that it helps everyone on their journey. And we will continue to offer these readings as they seem divinely guided and called to offer. I invite you to please follow on Facebook. I don't actually do Facebook. That's maybe an interesting slip. Maybe I am supposed to be guided to be doing this on Facebook, but I'm not at this time. I am on Instagram at Labyrinth_butterfly, and of course on YouTube here, and you can like and subscribe and share, and we will start to build a tribe here around this beautiful journey that is happening and growing and intentionally moving us all forward into higher awareness, deeper awakening, and furthering us on our missions to heal this planet and heal ourselves and grow in love of oneness and divinity and beauty on our ways. So thank you so much for listening. I pray that everyone has a beautiful new moon experience, and please work with all of the energies and the gifts of every moon cycle from our grandmother, and onward and upward into beauty and light. So love and devotion. I give thanks to you all, and have a beautiful, beautiful new moon. Thank you. Talk to you soon.